Well, next I have the beautiful Kim over from Western Australia. We're going to have a little bit of a chat. We're going to have a bit of a chat because the beautiful Kim is going to be talking to us a little bit. Actually, in case some of you might not know Kim, Kim lives over in Western Australia. She's an IMD and started in February 2014. So you've been around a while, little girl. Yeah, I tell you, it's good. She is hilarious. She is so much fun, this girl. If you get the opportunity to hang out with her, God help you is all I'll say. Thankfully at the moment she's not having a few jars and that she's been a very good girl and that, but you know, what I love about it is that you really do like to set your customers up for success. And as we're going to have a bit of a chat about that and just some of the other things that you do. You have grown so much over the years around, you've been studying around mindset. You help people now with their mindset, their health, their wellness, all of that. And of course, you know, this really lights you up, the ability to be able to help people to be their best version of themselves. And our Juice Plus products and our programs are part of that story. They get to be able to help people to be their best versions. So let's have a little bit of a chat. I'm going to set the timer because when we start talking, we can kind of talk and next thing we realize the time is gone. So I'm going to set the timer here. Alrighty. First question I'm going to ask you actually is, based on your almost 8 years experience and results, what have you found to be the best way to set new customers up for success as they start their product journey to keep them on the product long term?
Amazing. Love it. And yeah, we need questions. We need a timer because I know we will totally go over otherwise. So I have definitely learned a lot in almost 8 years of being a part of this gorgeous, gorgeous community. And I want you guys to know, like, as much as I might be a businesswoman and work hard and do all these things, I'm like the lazy business person. I want the easiest way. So I want to know that when I sign up a customer, that I don't have to continually keep trying to find more and more and more. Like, I would much rather have these beautiful customers that want to stay around and stick with it and have a lifetime experience with the Juice Plus products and community and so on and so forth. So I'm like, how can I set myself up for success that will also set my customer up for success? And well, there's a few things that I do. I've already forgotten your question, Celine. This is great. We're off to a great start. I do have baby brain, by the way, guys. We forgot to mention that in the intro.
Yes, sorry. Yes, she's pregnant. That's why she's not drinking. She's pregnant.
I have got a drink in a wine glass, by the way, but it's lemon lime bitters. Anyway. What do I set up? How do I set up my customers for success? So I am really, really big on education. Linda actually spoke about this right at the start. Once, obviously, I've signed up my customer, the customer has joined for the products, joined us, joined our mission. I need to make sure my customer really knows what they're getting themselves into and what expectation they have. So we have to take responsibility of that. It is up to us to set the expectation for our customer. And let me know in the chat if you can relate to this, where you've had a customer join and it seemed maybe like a really simple or easy transition sale, and you haven't really set any expectations, but they come in thinking they're going to have these mind-blowing, phenomenal results in the first month. You know, I am exaggerating, but this does happen. And that doesn't happen for them. And then they start to blame the product and blame what we do that doesn't work. I didn't get these results. I want to quit. I want to cancel. Has anyone had that? I definitely have. So I need to take responsibility for that. I need to make sure I'm setting the expectations for them. I'm guiding them in that based on the education around the product. Like, it's fruits and vegetables. It bridges the gap. Like, I keep it really, really simple. And it's almost like I talk into the common sense side of things. Well, that's how I visualize it anyway. I'm talking to their common sense. Like, how can I keep this so common sense to them that they just grasp it and they get it? So I be really realistic. I make sure that their expectations are realistic based on what we know that the product's proven to do. And we do have our own experience, whether you're new or you've been around for ages, we do have some form of experience of hearing other people's stories. So we kind of know what to expect, but I also make sure I educate them, saying, like, every single person is different. your body is different, and what you get out of it can't be compared to anyone else anyway, because this is your journey. So I really make sure that when I'm talking to that customer, I'm empowering complete ownership with them on their new journey that they're about to embark on. I think I've got my notes here, so I don't.
It's great, and I think again that is so cool. It's exactly really what Kate was saying too. It's about the expectations and making sure. I know people used to like to talk about their juice glasses, their magic pills, and all this kind of thing. It's not magic, and that it is about part of a bigger picture. And so setting those expectations, I think, are really, really important. So we're following on from that. Could you share one thing that changed everything for you, that created more trust and stronger relationships, helping you to use your time more effectively and get more yeses as you were kind of building these relationships with customers?
Yeah. So this is huge. You literally said the key word already, which is trust. So whether you're in, like I'm going to talk into before you've even signed up the customer, like getting the customer first, people only buy from you if they trust in you. And that is the biggest thing. So I have to ask myself, how can I create the trust between the person I'm talking to? And I'm going to share with you, this is the secret to having a really high conversion rate. And I know we've talked about it this morning about maybe your skill set's lower right now and you get a 1 in 10 say yes, but how can you have, like, why are those other 9 people saying no? So how can we see how those other 9 people, how can we find out why they're actually saying no so it can be a yes? And I'm going to tell you something, and you're going to love to hate me, and I don't care, because in 8 years this has been proven to work for me and so many other people. Pick up the phone. I want you to write that in big capital letters on your page. Pick up the phone. The only way that you are going to build genuine trust, especially in this day and age, guys, especially with what's going on right now, people need to feel trusted. They need to feel connected, and they're not going to hand over their money. Their money's valuable to them, and you've got to show them that your product is more valuable than their money so they can make that transition with you. So you have to build that trust. So you've got to rip the Band-Aid, pick up the phone, have those conversations, have that conversation with them. I'll let you keep prompting me with questions. But I
love that though, because like if we think back to earlier this week, guess what happened? Social media went down, and so many people like rely on Facebook Messenger or Facebook's Instagram, etc., to be able to, even WhatsApp, because they're all connected, to be able to connect with people. And so they've not had that space where, they've actually had a conversation with somebody. I remember Kira Love early on in the piece. I remember her talking about, and I'm sure she still does it today, she'll be talking later on, but how she used to make sure she got on a Skype, it was then, a session with somebody to, so that the relationship went even deeper, to be able to get to know and to get to understand, and picking up the phone. So I would, I agree totally. I encourage you to get on the phone, to physically talk to people, look in how you can actually do it. But is there anything that you would do, like knowing that, say, for example, just say Facebook and Instagram went away like it did for a few hours earlier this week? Is there anything that you do that like really makes sure, other than making sure that you are talking to people, that really makes sure that relationship, that trust has moved from online to offline? Because I know you build online, but how quickly do you try to move it to offline so you can have that conversation?
Yeah, so I totally get that. I'm in a space where I have to find, if I want to find new friends, like I go to the online because it's easy and convenient. It takes less time and I can reach more people, but I still have to follow the same concept of, once I've connected with someone, how can I build the trust with them? And, Ange talked about it, about making friends. When you make a friend, you build trust before anything. So what I do is I set an intention. So my intention is, no matter what, so this is generalized, no matter what, I need to get someone on the phone with me. Like I know, well, my strength is in talking anyway. So how can I get the person on the phone? I'm going to go back a bit to go forward a bit. To get them on the phone, I know we start online, is I do pre-qualify people. So what does that mean? Because I know there'll be people, you guys listening now, be like, I've been talking to this random who I'm building a relationship with, like, oh my God, I can't get them on the phone. That's just weird. I totally understand that. But I always pre-qualify people, meaning that there is some form of bond or connection that we've created. So then when they're getting on the phone, they know what they're going to be talking to me about. So I don't just do cold calls and be like, oh, let me have your number, I'll just give you a phone call. Like, as creepy as I probably could be if I really wanted to, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be the creepy Juice Plus girl. I don't want to give myself any labels. So it's really about, pre-qualifying people. So when I'm talking to someone online, offline, whatever, I find out about them. We've already talked about that today, like asking the questions, getting to know them, what door are they going to go through, so on and so forth. So when it comes to the point of like, I know I have information to share with them, they already kind of understand we're talking about something. I'm being very generalized here because you guys get to take that generalization and make it specific to you. So they're already interested. They already know what's going to come up. And my goal is to get them on the phone talking to me. So when we get on the phone call, they already know they're not going to think it's weird. There's not going to be any kind of weird energy or awkward, or you're not going to feel awkward. How can I get the conversation to where I need it to go? Because you've already set the intention.
Yeah, I love that. Because again, it is about shifting it. Somebody I saw in the chat here, somebody saying you love voice messages and that. I do too. And that's probably even another great way to be able to pre-qualify before you actually physically pick up the phone or have a messenger phone call or whatever like that. A few voice messages as well, chopping and changing back and forth, actually starts to build the relationship even quicker as well. It's you're moving it from just text to somebody hearing your voice. When somebody can hear your voice, they can hear your intent as well. They can hear who you are. They start to kind of be able to build out your personality. And so the trust starts to build too. I think it's important. One of the things that I know to be true is that our community is one of the least expensive, but yet one of the most valuable products we sell. And sometimes we think that we're only selling our community to those people who join us as business partners. But we've got a community that, you know, everybody, I know there are so many different programs right across. And even if we think about our Kickstart 10 as a corporate one too, they're communities of people. How do you like bring that into the conversations? Because it is a great add-on feature for any product when somebody's coming along, all of the extra value add that we give. Do you have a particular way in which you talk about that?
Yeah, so I embody the fact that we are more than a product anyway. I embody the fact, like, what does Juice Plus represent to me? Like, our mission is community. We're inspiring healthy living around the world. It talks about, on a global scale, it talks about inspiring healthy living, meaning Juice Plus is just one piece of the puzzle. The product is one piece of the puzzle. So when I'm having that conversation, and I do this in messages too, guys, I just really want to positively push you in the direction of picking up the phone because it's going to pay off quicker long term, I promise. Did that make sense? Quicker long term. You know what I mean? And yeah, I embody what Juice Plus really represents. And I'll share with you, like 8 years ago, the reason I said yes is I went to an event. I walked into a room. There was about 80 people at the event. I genuinely thought everyone was on something because I was like, how are these people so happy and so vibrant? I wanted to be a part of that, and I was made to feel special. Now, everyone wants to feel connected. Everyone wants to feel significant and special. They want to feel like they're growing. They want to feel like there's an opportunity for them to become a better person, right? So we embody that. What we're about, we embody that. So I embody that before I have the conversation. So when I'm even describing what we are about, that comes through my messaging. That comes through how I talk about it. I don't just get on the phone, oh, you heard about these products? They do X, Y, and Z. No, and we have short videos for that anyway. I share the experience. And that's what sells, really. That's what is amazing. And that's what is free, right? Our community is free. The money exchange gets them a product. Everything else, if we have programs and all of that stuff, technically it's free, really, right? Because they pay for their product. And again, from the business side of things, like I joined the business because they obviously, my uplines and who I was around, you know, they're like, why don't you join us? You can share it with other people. I wanted to be a part of that. So I always go into my conversations with, I know Adam talked about they have 2 doors. They do have 2 doors. I go in like holding up the umbrella that covers that. And then I show that this whole thing we're about, our whole mission is the product, is the business. And if you think about it, I always say this, the business is the cheapest product. If you look at how much it costs on a yearly basis,
yep,
right, compared to our capsules. So that's a little fun fact. I do want to share this. I was supposed to share it in the last one because I know people will be asking, how do you still get people on the phone? I did want to share my little hack. When I'm doing the back and forth messaging, guys, I try and get it there as soon as possible. When someone's asking and I'm interested, can you tell me more? This is what I say. I say, look, the best thing is for me to give you a quick call so I can explain everything and answer all your questions. Is this something that you are open to? Now, sometimes I can already tell by the way they're coming back to me, is there someone who might not even want that? So I can also give them the question of, look, people usually just jump on a quick call with me. I'm happy to give you some of my time and do that for you. Or you can watch a short info video. If I send it to you, would you watch it?
Love it.
So I've given them. So I want you guys to know, it's like I downsell in the way the highest product is getting on the phone with me. If they're not going to do that, cool, watch a video. If they're not going to do that, watch a video, maybe I'll send a pre-typed info of the product, but they're not committing to me. How are they going to commit to my community?
Love it. Love it. And the alarm just went. You timed that perfectly.
Yeah.
So much gold so much gold in there, because I think it is so important. Again, we need to be building that courage muscle. So let's set them a little challenge, Kim. Let's kind of go. Alrighty, how many phone calls do we think that we can kind of go for this week? And remember, again, it's the whole go for now, building the courage muscle. It really, really is important in that. So yeah, Kim, you're a rock star. Thank you so much, darling. And that, any finishing comments from you, sweetheart?
Yes, I do. I'll be really quick. So my thing is, what I want to leave you with is, at the end of the day, guys, you have to rip the Band-Aid. I know I can speak confidently about this because I have 8 years under my belt, 8 years of failing, challenges, rejection, all of that stuff. So it's easier for me now because I've conditioned myself. I've worked the muscle. So you can use your upline support with calls and whatnot. We talk about third validation, 3-way calls all the time.
Yeah.
Right? But I have to share this with you. If it's important enough to you to build your business, you will get out of your own way and make the phone call. If you're choosing fear, to sit in that fear, that no, it's scary, like judgment, blah, 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 you're making it about you and not the person you're trying to help. That's the bottom line there. Yeah. And we know better than that. So I would love for you to go out now and set the intention of every connection you make. The intention would be, how can I build trust? How can I get them on the phone so they can meet me or meet my voice as soon as possible? When you ask yourself these questions, like, how can I? You're pushing yourself to get out of your comfort zone and just do it. And it gets easier and easier every single time. So
I love it. I absolutely love it. And there's so many ways. You can have a Zoom chat, you can have a phone chat, but it's about getting the feel. Thank you again. Really appreciate you, darling. You rocked it. God bless.